Good morning. I want to welcome everyone don't let the little bit of the fog fool you, to a bright, beautiful day in Riverside County to celebrate a major accomplishment in transportation, economic development, traffic safety, and many other things for our region, and you'll be hearing more about that from our speakers. First, to introduce myself, my name is Juan Perez. I'm one of the assistant CEOs for Riverside County, and I oversee our transportation line management agency, and it's my pleasure and honor to be your MC today. I want to start off the morning by asking all of you please to rise with me for the presentation of colors by the Riverside County Sheriff's Department Honor Guard.
Left. Left. Right. Left. 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 Mark time. March. Left. Detail. Halt. Left. Peace. Present. Force.
And I will ask Battalion Chief Richard Tovar from CAL FIRE to come up and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Good morning. Remove your hats, right hand over your heart. Repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It's my pleasure to introduce Aaliyah Roberts, a 7th grade student, and she is going to sing the national anthem for us. Aaliyah?
You see by the dawn's early lights what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the lands of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, Aaliyah. Beautiful rendition. Thank you so much. And we're honored to have, I think it's an encore performance because they were also at the groundbreaking, the Sweet Adelines Inland Empire Chorus Chapter of the Sweet Adelines International, to sing America the Beautiful for us, ladies.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining, shining sea. Oh, beautiful for patriot dreams that sees beyond the years, thine alabaster cities gleam, undimmed by human tears.
This is always the dreaded part of the program for an MC, introduction of dignitaries, because we have many dignitaries here today, and if I miss any of you, it's due to my ignorance, so I apologize ahead of time. But really, you're all dignitaries for being here today, so I appreciate the great turnout to come celebrate a very important project. We do have a long list of dignitaries. I may ask you to hold and give them all a rousing round of applause at the end. But I'm very pleased and honored to first introduce State Senator Richard Roth. Well, you did fairly well, but he certainly deserves that. So, very pleased to have State Assembly Member Sabrina Cervantes. We have Supervisor with County Riverside, Karen Spiegel. Thank you, Supervisor Spiegel. We have with the City of Jurupa Valley, Mayor Brian Berkson. City of Eastvale, Mayor Todd Rigby. Mayor Pro Tem with City of Jurupa Valley, Anthony Kelly. We have City of Norco, Council Member Kevin Bash. We have a Council Member for the City of Eastvale, Brandon Plott. Council Member Clint Lorrimore for the City of Eastvale. Council Member Jocelyn Yao for the City of Eastvale as well. Michael Goodland, Council Member for the City of Jurupa Valley. We have our County Chief Executive Officer and my boss, George Johnson. George, thank you for being here. We also have very pleased to introduce our Executive Director of the Riverside County Transportation Commission, great friend Ann Mayer. Thank you, Ann. We also have Aaron Hake with RCTC. Thank you, Aaron, for joining us. And I'm very pleased to have today our District 8 Director with Caltrans, Mike Beauchamp. Thank you, Mike, for being here this morning. We have with the City of Jurupa Valley, Interim City Manager Alan Kramer. City Manager for City of Eastvale, Brian Jones. Deputy City Manager George Wentz. Good morning, George. City of Jurupa Valley. With JCSD Board Director Dickie Simmons. Jen Anderson, the President of the Jurupa Community Service District. Cheryl Fielder, the Vice President of the Eastvale Chamber of Commerce. John Warren, Captain with Riverside Sheriff's Department. And last but certainly not least, Lieutenant Al Alleman with the California Highway Patrol. Let's give them all a rousing hand of applause. Thank you. Now it is my pleasure to call up for our invocation Pastor Greg Rondeau with Calvary Chapel. Pastor.
Good morning, Jurupa Valley. What a great day it is. When I moved myself, my family, and my business here to the Jurupa Valley some 30 years ago, we used to come up Hamner Avenue, a little two-lane street, and we'd hit Limonite and head to Pedley, to our home. So what a great day it is to be able to see this interchange opened and to be able to enjoy this for the years to come, I'm certain. Join me in prayer as we ask the Lord to bless. And we thank you, Lord, this morning for this opportunity to rejoice in certainly the grace that you have shed on the United States. We are grateful. Thank you, Lord, for all the dignitaries, Father God. Thank you for the citizens and just the day that we can celebrate this interchange. And what a blessing it will truly be as it serves as the entryway to the Jurupa Valley. We thank you so much for this time. So be with our day, be with our gathering, and I would humbly ask, Lord, reveal yourself this day. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor. It's also a pleasure to introduce Councilman Westpeak with City of Corona, who's joined us as well. Thank you, Councilman, for joining us. So it is my pleasure today to introduce the speakers, and I'm going to let them tell you all about the project rather than me doing it. And I'm very honored to introduce our first speaker today, State Senator Richard Roth, who really had a very important hand in bringing this project forward, as did Assembly Member Cervantes. as well. They were really very instrumental in being able to secure the state funding and the state investment needed to bring this project forward. This is a project that had been many years in the planning and was shelf ready, but was really not able to move forward until we were able to secure that critical construction funding. So it's my honor and pleasure to call up State Senator Richard Roth.
Thank you, Juan. Assemblymember Cervantes, Supervisor Spiegel, mayors, council members, distinguished guests, community members. It's a great day, isn't it? It's taken us a long time to get here. And I think we ought to give the county a round of applause for taking the lead on this and doing an absolutely superb job. How about that? Well, today's ribbon cutting commemorates one of many efforts made to better equip this region for the challenges of the 21st century. I don't have to tell you, but this is a critical investment in infrastructure, and it's one example of the state's commitment to deliver a fair share of funding to our region at last. And infrastructure improvement is exactly what we need. As you know, California, we're facing a housing crisis. Housing construction, frankly, has not kept up with demand, and it's going to only get worse. We were recently told that over 1.3 million housing units will need to be built in Southern California over the next 2 decades. And for us in Riverside County, that's about 166,000 units for the county and its cities. And this, of course, is to accommodate workers and their families who have to travel long distances from inland Southern California to jobs in Los Angeles and Orange County, over a freeway system that is, for the most part, currently at capacity. In other words, gridlock. So we will continue to need capacity and modernization projects to help people move from here to their jobs, albeit slowly most of the time, at least until we can bring those jobs here to inland Southern California. And that's what this project and others in the pipeline attempt to do. Now, this project was delivered with the support of $48 million in state funding, and it's one of 5 critical transportation projects in western Riverside County, totaling over $427 million associated with the passage of Senate Bill 1. Now, as I've said before, elections clearly have consequences, particularly at the local level. And I want you to look around, not only here, but around inland Southern California, here in inland Southern California, and contrast today with the region's ability to access funds, or lack thereof, in years past. Frankly, this monumental investment would not have been possible, and politicians, we take credit for everything, right? Whether we do it or not. But I'm not. This investment would not have been possible without Assemblymember Sabrina Cervantes' extraordinary courage and outspoken advocacy on behalf of this community and our region as a whole. Now, she is the real champion here, and I think we all owe her our gratitude for a job well done. And so I'd like to show her our appreciation, if you would join me in giving her a round of applause. This region continues to set the pace for the rest of California. We are, in fact, rising, and we need to keep it that way. Recognition, respect, and resources. Now, I campaigned on those 3 principles in 2012, and they remain just as relevant for us today as they were then. I think you have earned, and you clearly deserve, the recognition and respect of those in Sacramento, California, and in Washington, D.C. And as to resources, well, I think we've come a long way, but we've got more to accomplish. So let's keep up the fight. It's a privilege to represent you, and it's been a privilege to join you here today. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you so much, Senator, and thank you for your active and strong, passionate leadership to make this project happen. And I also want to add my personal thanks to Assemblymember Cervantes. I had the pleasure to give the Assemblymember a tour a few months ago. So she has stayed in touch with the project, been very interested in the progress during construction. And again, we would not be here today without her efforts to secure the state investment to make it happen. So it is my pleasure to introduce to you this morning Assemblymember Sabrina Cervantes.
Well, good morning. It's certainly a momentous occasion for our region, for all the communities that pass this corridor every single morning, heading to work, dropping off their children, and coming back home. As a former resident of both Eastville and Jurupa Valley, I'm too familiar with the congestion that many commuters once faced on this Limonite interchange. And with tremendous growth and development of both cities and our region as a whole, this day has been a long time coming and is indeed worth celebrating. All of us here can agree that transportation is central to our everyday lives. Whether by bus, car, rail, bike, transportation has a profound effect on the quality of life for every Californian. Investments such as this benefit all those who live, work, and travel across this corridor, specifically right here where we're at off the 15 freeway. The completion of the I-15 interchange project will not only improve the quality and safety of our roads, but also serve to reduce commute times so that our residents are able to get from point A and point B safely and efficiently. As a lifelong resident of Riverside County, I know that this region, our region, does not see this kind of investment. And in fact, I'm very proud to have secured this investment, this vital funding for 5 key projects right here in Assembly District 60 to be completed by 2023, allowing us the opportunity to advance our transportation infrastructure needs here at home, this being one of the 5 projects. I want to thank my friend, my colleague, Senator Richard Roth, for his tremendous partnership in this endeavor, as well as both of our staffs for working with the county to ensure that this project stays on time. And I just want to give a shout out, of course, to Riverside County Transportation Commission, to the Riverside County Transportation Department, and all others involved to bring this to fruition today. Without your leadership, we would not be here. It was just over a year ago that we were here celebrating the groundbreaking ceremony right across the freeway. And it's incredible to see how fast each of the departments and the cities have worked together to ensure that this project is completed today. It is through your innovation and steadfast public service that this project can be completed in the most expedited and fiscally prudent manner that will serve our communities decades and decades to come. I look forward to continuing our efforts to deliver meaningful investments in the 60th Assembly District and to ensure that we are doing everything that we can to build an excellent transportation system, because our community deserves just that. One bridge at a time, one grade separation at a time, and one connector at a time. Thank you.
Thank you once again, Assembly Member and Senator. And the Senator mentioned there are other projects in this area that will be benefiting from the unprecedented investment made by the state in transportation. So you'll be getting invitations to future events. More to come. Stay tuned. We're just getting started. Now it's my pleasure to introduce someone who has been a steadfast champion of transportation, not just with her role as county supervisor, her prior role as a council member, City of Corona, and at the Riverside County Transportation Commission. My honor to introduce Karen Spiegel, Supervisor.
Well, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Make sure you're all awake. You know, when we talk about the word instrumental, I think that the credit needs to be a little more directive towards Senator Roth and Assemblywoman Cervantes, because they were more than instrumental. Without them, this project would not have had the funds, and without funds, we could not have made this happen. So again, I want to thank both of you for your efforts in standing up on behalf of all of us. Any project is done with a collaboration. There's a team. And I want to just take a minute and recognize that team. And if you look on the back of your program, you have all the team players. You have the City of Eastvale, the City of Rupa Valley, the county transportation, you have RCTC and Caltrans. We have those as the team players. And when you look at the Riverside County, which we weren't out there, but we have somebody, both the county transportation, and he has not taken credit, but I think we need to recognize Juan Perez for his efforts on leading the team. And the team he led, Falcon Engineering, they were the construction managers with Atkinson doing the contracting. And then we had Donkin as a designer with T.Y. Lin. And I just want to thank those that really did the physical work. So thank you. Those people who are elected officials and those who understand the politics of life, we come in, we do some great things, and some things are left undone, and we leave office, and someone else comes in and they get the credit at the end, right? But then we leave things, and then someone else gets our credit. So I definitely need to recognize Supervisor John Tavallone, that it was under his leadership, working with Senator Roth and Assemblywoman Cervantes, that partnership is what helped make this happen. So I do want to recognize Supervisor Tavallone. And that's really the key to everything today, is partnership. We all work together to make things happen. And if we don't work together and in step, it would never happen. And the list goes on, and you'll have more speakers with the mayors as well as the Sheriff Department and Highway Patrol. Everybody has a very specific part. And I just want to congratulate everybody here and what part you played in the big picture of these. We have some recognitions. I'm not going to hand them out now, but for the mayors, I see I guess all of us have them. So we won't just stop and do that. But the cities of Eastvale and the city of Rupa Valley, those of you who are residents and those of you who utilize this area know that it was becoming unbearable with the congestion. This is a small fix, but it's a fix. And it was recognized as being some issue, and we had leadership that was able to help it. We have many more things that are happening, as Senator Roth was explaining under the SB1 way that it happened. I don't want to say deal making, but in order for things to happen, we in Riverside County were able to have some special projects that helped fix some of those gaps that we have. And I do want to mention that when we introduced some other partners, we have the city of Norco and the city of Corona represented here, because our district works together. We are all having to deal with the challenges of growth and the challenges of lack of infrastructure and capacity building. And so this is just one step closer to being able to address welcoming all those new homes and new residents into our county and making it work a little more in step. And I, again, want to thank all of you for being part of those steps and making things happen. And we're going to look at making other things happen. As Senator Roth referred, there's other events that we're going to be having with other projects moving forward. But we also have the piece that I just spent the other day talking to Senator Roth about, and that is trying to bring some jobs with that transportation. So it's all encompassing. There's no one fix, no one answer. But thank you for having trust. And again, the City of Eastvale, City of River Valley, the county transportation, and RCTC, which I know we don't realize what a big part they played, not directly, but RCTC, and thank you, Ann Mayor, for your support in this, as well as Caltrans. And with that, I'm going to let the day begin, and I look forward to some future activities for all of us.
Thank you so much, Supervisor. And Supervisor mentioned the importance of partnerships, and that's really how we get things done here in Riverside County. And you may see and you may look at other parts of the state that aren't as successful as we are, you know, that have seen the growth in population, infrastructure, and other things, and it's really because we're able to work together. And nothing speaks to partnerships more than events like this and projects like this. It's been our honor. We started this project in the county back when it was all county and incorporated area. There a lot of the prior planning. And then we're very proud and honored to have been able to continue working on this project on behalf of the cities of Eastvale and Jurupa Valley. So we will first ask Mayor Brian Berkson from Jurupa Valley to come up and speak to the project and the transformative effect that it will have in this area. Mayor?
Good morning. Thank you, everybody, for attending this morning's event. Just a year ago, during former Mayor Michael Goodland's State of the City address, he did a little video, and I highlighted this segment as it was just a few days after the groundbreaking, and almost nothing was done. And here we are, 12 months, 13 months later, and this project is finished. It was finished in record time in my book for any freeway project. Just a tremendous effort by the county, and when others, including Supervisor Spiegel, mentions RCTC, I sit on the board as well as Karen Spiegel. The bigger project here, the 15 express lanes, had to actually change the order and sequencing to make sure that this project got finished in conjunction with the other one. This project could not have been done, and I'm going to harp on the same thing everybody else has harped on, and that's to give credit where I know credit is due. And although elected officials may like to take praise and credit for things, others don't have that, that nature. But Sabrina Cervantes and Richard Roth together stuck their necks out for our region, and did so, in my view. Sabrina Cervantes is a brand new elected official, said no to her party line and said, wait, hold, put the brakes on. I'm not giving you my vote unless we talk about some other issues that have been decades overdue. And because of that stance on both of their parts, and they both did that, they were the tiebreakers here. Without their support, SB 1 would not have happened. So the governor was very motivated. Regardless of how SB 1 turned out, the election that took place later and all that stuff, that doesn't matter. What came out of it was the support that they gave us, the proof that we needed to say, hey, they're not here just for party particulars. They're here because they care about us. They care about our region. They live in our region. This is theirs just as much as ours. And it's our residents as much as it is everybody's here. Applause can't be enough. But from my heart, I recognize what you've done, both of you. And I'll never forget that. And if anybody ever asks, I'll tell the same story because it's so relevant in life. One other project that's coming up, as one of the 5 projects, our next one is the Jurupa Valley and Van Buren grade separation. That's one of the other 5 projects. Another one that's really one of my most excited ones is the 1591 express lane connector, the one that's missing. That was also a huge deal for our residents to be able to access that toll lane facility in the future. The problem we had here with this area, which you all know, was gridlock and traffic that was probably a mile in each direction of backup nonstop. it had an effect on how projects came to City Council and how I personally viewed them with traffic mitigation measures not possible without this. This is going to eliminate the whole backup on both sides of the freeway. It will also eliminate the backup on the freeway to get off the freeway. This is a huge situation for us. We're very proud that we are the recipients of this great funding that Assemblywoman and Senator Roth both secured for us. And that also actually brought Governor Brown to our City Hall to sign SB 132 or whichever, 132. He actually came and I was sitting as close to him as I am to Senator Roth today. It was quite an amazing time for us here, and we're growing, and we appreciate the county's lead on this project, and what it brings to our community is invaluable, and words just can't express the gratitude that we have as a city and a region. So thank you everybody for attending, and again, the most thanks to these people right here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mayor, for your comments. And on the other side of the freeway, we have our wonderful partner in the city of Eastville, who again has been just a staunch supporter and great advocate for this project all the way through. And we're very pleased to have this morning Mayor Todd Rigby with the city of Eastville. Mayor.
Good morning, and thank you for being here this morning. This is a historic event. I was talking this morning with a couple of people that were talking about they remember driving up Hamner and before the freeway was even here, and they remember when the freeway opened. This is going to be one of those events that we're going to be talking about. Remember when Limonite Interchange was open? I'm excited for this. I'm very honored to be here this morning and to have so many colleagues, community leaders, and our residents here to celebrate this event with us. And wow, we finally made it. We finally made it. We got it done. We got the funding, we got the project complete, and here we are celebrating today. I would like to take this time to thank everyone that was part of this project. We're very proud of the collaboration with our regional partners to get this completed. To give a little background, Limonite Avenue is the notorious street that connects the city of Eastville with the city of Jurupa Valley together. This street was known for its horrific traffic congestion that made it almost impossible to get across or even onto the freeway in a decent amount of time. And in fact, this morning when I left specifically a little bit early to account for the traffic. As I got across Hamner, I realized that, wow, there was no traffic getting across because everything's open. So I was excited to get through here. Through teamwork and a common goal, we have now successfully widened the bridge from 4 total lanes to 8. And to top it all off, the new design features a pedestrian and bicyclist lane that will allow residents to successfully cross the interchange safely. All this to say, we have come a very long way with this bridge. I also want to take a minute to thank the businesses in this area. I know this is something that has been hard for some of these businesses, that the construction has affected some of these businesses. Thank you. Thank you for your patience, and thank you for dealing with this construction, and we know that this will bring a lot of people into our area that will help your businesses to be successful. Now this is expanded and improved overpass is the gateway into the city of Eastville and the city of Jurupa Valley, and will lead specifically towards our potential new downtown area. On behalf of the City Council of Eastville and its residents, we want to thank and congratulate everyone on this great accomplishment. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. From notorious to glorious, right? Here we go. We really appreciate the partnership and being able to deliver this project on behalf of the cities. I did want to also echo the supervisor's comments about the great work done by RCTC, and we have a number of elected officials here that are RCTC commissioners. Can I ask you to stand up also, please, once again? And thank you all for your leadership. And thanks to my friend Ann Mayer, the lady that keeps Riverside County moving. Thank you, Ann, for all that you do. And it does take a village. It takes a lot to deliver a project like this. And I want to take just a quick minute to ask our staff. They're the ones that do all the work. If it goes well, it's because of them. If something doesn't go well, it's usually because I stuck my finger in it. So I want to acknowledge and thank them, all our staff from County Transportation Department, our engineers, our surveyors. We have our project partners here, Falcon, construction manager, Dawkin, and T.Y. Lynn, our designers. And I want to also ask our friends at Atkinson, our contractor, who did just a wonderful job. My goodness, I mean, they were on it from day one. I think we came out for the groundbreaking and the ground was more than broken already. I think one of the bridges was down. Incentive clause may have had a little bit of something to do with it, right? Doesn't hurt, gentlemen, but we appreciate the great work that you did to deliver this project. So can I ask everybody involved in the project team to please stand up, and if we can all please acknowledge them. Come on, folks, don't be shy. And although she's not here this morning, our transportation department is led by the one and only Patty Romo, and I know Patty sends her best wishes. Thank you. Shout out for Patty. So. There's another group that we often don't think, and I think it's overlooked, and it shouldn't be overlooked, and that's the property owners. You know, it takes a lot of work and effort and acquisition of right-of-way to make these projects happen. And we pride ourselves in our ability to work with our property owners to do so in a fair and equitable way. And that takes two to do that, and it takes cooperative property owners. And I want to thank all of them involved. The Lewis Group, we worked with them back when that project was approved a number of years ago. Web team was involved. Friend Rick Bondar. Rick, thank you as well for this area. Others as well. Thank you all for your cooperation in allowing this project to move forward on an expedited basis because of that. And I'm grateful to you for that. So it wouldn't be a party without Cone Kid. So I'm going to ask Cone Kid to come up, and then I will also ask our public safety gentleman that we're very pleased and honored to have here, Lieutenant Al Alleman with the California Highway Patrol, and Captain John Moran with the Sheriff's Department to come up and say a few words about public safety. And welcome, Cone Kid. Gentlemen.
Good morning, everyone. Lieutenant Al Alleman from CHP. This is a wonderful project. We see a lot of projects in my career and on the road, and we have to applaud the collaborative efforts, not only of our elected officials, but the boots on the ground. We've been with them since day one, and they've really done a wonderful job for this community, and I think they all deserve a round of applause, even the guys working tonight. We still have quite a bit of work to be done on the freeway. Don't forget about our cone guy. Slow down for the cone guy. And as the holidays approach us, please remember, don't drink and drive, and wear your seatbelt. Have a good holiday. Thank you.
I'd like to make this a little more personal because I have some background in road construction. My name is John Moran, and I'm the area commander for Hoopa Valley Sheriff's Station with the contract cities of Norco, Eastvale, Hoopa Valley, and the unincorporated communities of High Grove, Home Gardens, Coronita, El Cerrito, and Lake Hills. I want to thank everyone for coming together to celebrate the completion of the Limonite Bridge that links the cities of Eastvale and Hoopa Valley and provides faster police response times and better overall police services to both communities. But first, I'd like to explain why a captain of the Sheriff's Department is wearing a beard. Sheriff Bianco has authorized No Shave November for department employees as a way to show our support for cancer research and cancer treatment centers. Department members who wish to participate donate a monetary amount to the cancer research or treatment center of their choice. I have chosen to wear a beard in honor of my mother and twin brother who have both passed away from cancer. As I stand here today in celebration of this bridge, I feel a sense of pride for the tremendous amount of work it took to complete such a large project. I have a unique perspective about this type of work because prior to my law enforcement career, I worked 8 years in road construction with my twin brother. I can remember one of my first jobs in the 1980s working on the I-15 freeway from Corona to Lake Elsinore, and one of my last jobs installing the toll lanes on the 91 freeway from Riverside County to the 55 interchange. As I look back on those days, I recall the awe of watching a set of plans turn into a completed project. I've always been amazed by the amount of planning, intelligence, engineering, phases, paperwork, bidding, scheduling, and on-site changes and tweaking required to satisfy tough state inspectors who were tasked with ensuring the project was completed correctly and on time. I reminisce about the hot summer days wearing my orange vest and hard hat, wondering if it would ever cool down, and the cold winter nights trying to communicate with other construction crews over the sounds of cars whizzing by. I also remember trying to stay focused on the task at hand as angry motorists sat in their stationary vehicles only feet from me, waiting for a flagman to indicate it was their time to proceed. I could feel their frustration, and I pray that they empathize with me. Finally, I recollect the reward of leaving a job at the end of the day and witnessing a finished product that I could be proud of, even if my role was minimal. The thought of something I could help build would stand for many years was a sense of great pride for me. 24 years ago, my brother and I were working road construction in a busy intersection on a hot summer day when a police officer drove up and stated, "I don't know how you guys do it. You work your butts off in such a dangerous environment. Be careful." It was that day that I decided to take the easy road and join the sheriff's department. It seemed like a safer career, and I wouldn't have drivers yelling at me to open the road up. I decided to take the leap and become a deputy and enjoyed a rewarding career. However, there was one aspect of road construction that I miss in my world of law enforcement. It's the fact that no matter how many bad guys I arrest, tickets I issue, or horrible or tragic crime scenes I investigate, crime will persist and people will continue to make poor choices that will lead them to an eventual day in court. There is no bonus at the end of the year and no buildings or structures that I can take pride in. It is simply the knowledge that I am making a difference in a victim's life. While reflecting on my current career, I am reminded of the simple joy of being part of a construction project that people can enjoy for many, many years. Like I mentioned before, when I look at the Limonite Bridge, I have a unique perspective. I understand the amount of hard work it took to complete such an enterprise by hundreds of blue-collar, hard-working Americans. I am also reminded how much easier this bridge will make responding to calls for service by my deputies. I am reminded that at the end of the day, whether we are construction workers or law enforcement deputies, we share the same desire to make a difference in our communities and keep our citizens safe. Thank you.
Captain, thank you for those great comments, and anytime you want the keys to the grader, let us know. We'll put you to work out there, and our friends in the CHP as well. And I want to, can I just take a minute and ask us all to recognize everyone in our public safety partners. We have the Sheriff, CHP, CAL FIRE here. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a round of applause. So part of the message we always want to leave you with is be safe. Be safe out there driving, please. Don't take it for granted. All the road is new and improved. We need vigilance. We need folks to stay alert, pay attention, and that's why we do the Cone Kid message. Cone Kid, thank you so much for coming. There you go. You may need some help getting off the stage. Take care of that.